Hello, Abnormal family. It's been a little bit since we've used this page, but it is still the Abnormal page. I'm just using my AI Seeking the Truth recording. I've been doing some recording for both tonight. So, what I want to talk to you tonight about is a case about Bessie and Glenn Hyde. The date was November 18th of 1928. Location was Grand Canyon. The age of Bessie at the time was 22. She was missing, not located. They've never been located. The moon phase on that again was a waning gibbous. There we have a failing moon as far as illumination and the light. Um, as we look at this case, a lot of people speculate possible supernatural. So we're going to break this one down and see what our conclusion is. Starting on October 20th, 1928, the Hyde started their adventure in the city of Green River, that's located in Utah, and it made a successful run through the major rapids and Green and the Colorado rivers. Now, they estimated it would take them no more than a month and a half to complete their journey. Almost a month into the trip, they spent a few days restocking at Grand Canyon Village in the South Rim on November 16th. At this time, they talked with a reporter from Denver Post, assuming that their final destination, Needles, in California, was just a few weeks away. So it sounds like they were both planning a trip, just to get away, go down the river. It sounds like they enjoyed the outdoors, the rapids, and everything. And so far, everything seems pretty normal. But they hiked along the Bright Angel Trail where they met brothers Ellsworth and Emery Kolb, famous photographers who ran a cliffside studio. Glenn and Bessie went to the studio and introduced themselves to the Kolbs, explaining that they were honeymooners who had been rafting on the river for 26 days. The Kolb brothers said that the couple asked to have their photo taken on the canyon rim, and they would return to retrieve it after the trip was completed. Now, according to Emery Kolb, Glenn said they did not have life preservers, which evoked a warning from Kolb and to Glenn. He asked them if they would like some life preservers. He offered his own. Emery also said that Bessie looked nervous about the remaining journey, but they declined to take any of the life preservers, which he thought was rather weird. Now, as Glenn and Bessie prepared to depart and walk down the trail to their boat, Emery Kolb's daughter, Emily, appeared nicely dressed. Bessie remarked, "I wonder if she'll ever wear pretty shoes again." People who encountered the couple during their layover later claimed that Bessie wanted to leave the trip. So something is making Bessie at this point where she's not comfortable. It sounds like she doesn't want to be doing this. And then it has to also make you question, was she happily married? It's said that a man named Adolph G. Sutro accompanied the couple back to the canyon, taking photographs and even riding a short distance with them in the boat. Now, Sutro was likely the last person to see the Hydes alive. By early December, Glenn and Bessie had not heard from him. As a result, Emery Kolb initiated a search in the area, including a small plane that flew through the inner gorge of the canyon. On December 20th, 1928, the pilot saw the intact Hydes scout in the rocks, the river 15 miles south of Diamond Creek. The assumption was that somewhere in the canyon they were on a ledge, possibly waiting to be found and rescued after 21 days. When the rescue party reached the boat, they found food, clothing, books, Bessie's journal, and a camera, which revealed the final photo to have been shot near the river 165 on November 27th. The last entry in Bessie's journal was written on November 30th near Diamond Creek. Glenn's father, Reith Hyde, aged 70, hired a group of men to search for the canyon within the area to try to locate him. He even enlisted Ellsworth and Emily Kolb to help, but after 41 days of searching, they had no success and there was no trace. Now, her friends' curiosity was raised when they found the marriage license of Glenn and Bessie Hyde at her home and a pistol in her lingerie drawer. Colorado River historian Brad Diamond, or Diamond, whose book, Sunk Without a Sound, The Tragic Colorado River Honeymoon of Glenn and Bessie Hyde, investigates the couple's story and the subsequent theories examined and the items from Clark's home and concluded from photographs that Clark and Bessie Hyde were not the same people. The two women didn't even resemble each other, and it's more likely that the items were souvenirs. On a 1971 commercial boat trip, an elderly woman called Liz Cutler announced over the evening campfire that she was Bessie Hyde. "What did you do with Glenn?" everyone asked. A boatman called George Billingsley asked half jokingly, and then she looked at him and said, "I killed him." The woman answered without looking up. The honeymooners fought. She added, she stabbed Glenn and hiked out to the Peach Springs, Arizona. She caught a bus back to east to start a new life. Further investigations failed to prove a link between the woman and the disappearances, and she was identified as a psychology professor from Ohio who liked to play mind games. Who better to get away with something, right? In 1976, a male skeleton was found hidden in the garage of Emery Cole's property. It was believed to be Glenn's, but analysis of the bones showed that it was too young to have been him due to the high muscle mass exhibited by the remains. It was determined that it was a manual laborer. The skull features did not match Glenn's. To this day, the disappearance of Glenn and Bessie Hyde on the Colorado River remains a mystery, but they were likely lost in the area of mile 232 and 45 miles from the end of the Grand Canyon. It almost, of course I can't prove this, but it almost sounds like she was a serial killer and she killed her husband on the trip. And because I mean she had a body in her house already, so I would say that she was a serial killer, and there's a real good chance that the lady that said she was Bessie. I'm sorry, guys, but some of these don't pan out to be supernatural. Not always. This one, I'm going to have to say it sounds like a serial killer. That would be my theory. What do you guys think? I mean, there was already a body at her house. It matched a manual laborer. Um, they was on the trip. She was acting weird, like she didn't want to do it. Did they have a fight? And she decided, hey, I really don't need this guy around. And maybe she planned on doing it anyways. Maybe that's why they picked the seclusion of the Grand Canyon. That way she could have him out there alone. Let me know what you all think on this one, guys. I'm not real sure, but pretty sure it's not supernatural. It sounds to me like possible serial killer. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening, guys. And until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. We'll see you on the next one.